Okay, 25th of February 2011. We're going to go through a series of tests to verify that our thermocouples and sensing devices that were recently put on vessel Chicago's First Lady, hull ID 975006, is compliant with Code of Federal Regulations 115.700, TAC D. In addition to that, 115802. 115.804 TAC I. Hopefully this video will show that the sensing devices are being tested pursuant to these regulations, and it may save us a little bit of time from doing such a test while the systems are filled with fluid or during a regular inspection. So on site we have First Engineer Mark Easterbrook, Mercury Yacht Charters, and a gentleman is Kyle here from Patton, who's participated in the overhaul in more ways than one. It's the engine starboard, engine port. You guys have a jig set up here to the unit. Specifications for the sensing device. Kyle, you could share that with us.
You got it. The sensor should go open at 14 psi plus or minus 3, and on the event of a pressure loss, the sensor should close back at 10 psi plus or minus 3.
Okay.
So, you got the meter ready?
Yep.
At this point we're showing the connection is made. Okay, what did we get there, fellas?
15.
Okay.
About 14. And one more time. And bring it up. 15. And it comes back about 13 psi.
Excellent. That's well within the manufacturer specifications. And we'll pause now just a moment and set up the rig to do the other element for the other engine. Section 2, our second portion, is testing the port main engine's oil pressure switch. As you can see there, it says port right on it. Kyle's going to prep the fittings and get it set up to the pump. We'll be able to get our pressures applied to the unit and see if it fits the criteria for being suitable for installation on a subchapter K boat. Again, this test is verifying continuity between the terminals, which would be normally part of the circuit that set the alarm in the wheelhouse, which would be part of a separate test. This ensures that the actual component itself is functional.
Okay. There we go, coming up. About 14 psi
Excellent.
on. About 11 psi off. We'll do it again. We'll come up. 14 psi off. 11 psi on.
Okay, very good. That concludes the test on number 2, the port engine. Again, this next test is going to be for the thermocouple, which is designed to go off at what temperature, Cal?
It should go off between 196 and 199 by the book spec. Given the variables between our hot plate and our thermocouples we're using as testing, we're going to add a couple degree plus or minus to it, so roughly about 203 at the most.
Excellent. And that again, this is necessary for the alarm in the pilot house to engage and go off and let the captain know that the engine is overheating. So as you can see here on the right hand side, we've got the fluke meter set up reading about 177.4. In the center we have our continuity meter set up to give whistles and bells when we get to our objective temperature, and then we also have a controlled temperature gauge here, which has also been calibrated between the two. We're within 1 degree on those two, and this is the port starboard main engine of Chicago's First Lady 975006. We're going to take a break here for a moment for the temperature to increase, and we'll turn the video back on. We're back again on the First Lady starboard main engine. Our engine temperature here has come up to 195.6, slowly on the rise. And will give us an idea shortly of what temperature the sender will go off and make, thus creating an alarm up in the wheelhouse. Again, it's temporarily disconnected so we can test the system. You'll hear a beeping sound when it indicates that the circuit's been made. May take just a moment. We're going to go a little bit closer here so you can take a look. We should be seeing some action here at 205. So we do have a slight distance between the thermocouple and the sensing unit. So let's see if we're within our plus or minus 1 or 2.
203.
What do you have on the other one, Mark?
203.
Okay, so we're right at the threshold.
There it
Oh,
goes.
there she goes. Okay. Now we're going to break here for a moment so we can cool down this coolant so we can see where she resets at to verify that the unit does work. We're checking for reset now. It's at 198, and we're watching for a reset. You can leave that beep on if you want, Mark. It helps a little bit for us to know whether or not we lose.
Sitting about 199 right now.
Kind of like watching water boil.
Let paint dry.
Yeah, right? Okay, we're gonna try to cool it off a little bit. We got a little bit of coolant, 195 or 197. 195, they say it typically resets. So what we're gonna do is add a little bit of coolant and try to expedite that, so we're not videoing for many hours. $195. Let's
See, it's gonna go too far too fast.
give it a moment here. She should reset. There we go. Okay, so she reset around 190, between 190 and 194.
That's actually within the spec because by the book,
This is a port engine for 975006. We are now at 202 degrees. You can see on the sending unit that it's labeled port, as it will be when installed in the engine. Just for ease of use, we set the jig up here to test this unit.
that sounded good.
What are we at now, Mark?
202.9.
See, I let all the warm air out when I came into the engine room. .205 on the Fluke. Should be in that ballpark very soon. There she goes at 205.7. Excellent. Well done. Thank you.